menu is like having my favorite.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Gentleman's Roundtable, where we are doing our debut episode of Off the Brim, where we are going to talk about some childhood toys and cartoons. First and foremost, what we're going to do is we're going to wish Anox a happy birthday. He's got a birthday coming up this week. And
happy birthday, Ant.
Yeah, happy birthday, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that intro makes me want to splot one.
And also, we got the I put all the links. If you guys could subscribe to our channels, if you guys aren't already, I put a link in the chat for each one of our channels if you guys would subscribe. And you look at all these birthday wishes Ant's already getting. Look at this.
Nice. Thank you, everybody.
And so today's episode is going to be about the nostalgia, the memories of our childhood days, our favorite cartoons, our favorite toys. And it's gonna be a fun episode. I think we're gonna get a lot of laughs and a lot of memories, and it's gonna be good times. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and start off right off the bat, and we're gonna go round table style here. And just curious, like we're almost all of us here are. I mean, other when we're at least 50 years old, are almost 50 years old, and our childhood was 35, 40 years ago, right? But it seems like yesterday when we talk about toys, when we talk about cartoons growing up, it's like our memories are in stone to like we can actually remember just about everything from these cartoons, even though it's so long ago.
I think some of that is because we didn't have computers and that, so that was a bigger part of our lives, I think, than kids these days.
Everybody's connected to their phones now, so
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And that's another thing is all the phones but like what sparks, like I remember me like rushing home just to watch cartoons after school, and it was like it was kind of like nowadays it's more of like an adrenaline thing to where it's like like with me now it's caps, It's like when you see a cap, you're like, oh man, you get that rush, you got a cap. But back then it was toys and cartoons. So it's like we're graduating to an older age, but we still have that kid in us, and that'll never go. So I'm just asking, like, what was your first memory of? Let's just start with toys. Of the first toy or first whatever it might have been, where you were like, oh man, that's awesome. That's gonna make me go buy that. I'm gonna beg my mom and dad to go get that from the store. So we're gonna go start off with you guys and. See how everybody does. Go ahead there, Dub. You're next, bud.
I guess with me on the toys, it would be Christmas morning, and it would be He-Man, Castle of Grayskull, getting all those toys, dude, and just walking up to the tree, opening up my present, seeing it, and being like, man, this is so awesome, and just Christmas morning, dude, and that feeling, man. And I got a BMX bike one year, got the Masters of the Universe stuff, and I mean, you can't beat that, dude. So,
yeah. Good, Ed. What do we got, bud?
Yeah. So for me, being a child of the '80s, like the '80s it's like two different lifetimes for me. First, there was before I learned to speak English because Spanish was my first language. So there was a lot of Spanish, like watching American shows and cartoons, but in Spanish, right, in the Spanish networks. And then once I hit like 5, 6 years old and I learned to speak English, then it was a different experience, right? So at first, the only shows that were available to us were like the PBS stuff, right? Sesame Street, the Muppets, things like that. So that was like my first introduction to like cartoons, other than watching regular TV that my mom or grandma had on. And those were also the first toys, right? The plush toys, and then obviously G.I. Joe was a big deal. And it wasn't until later in the '80s, once I was in school and kids were introducing me to other stuff, then you had the He-Man toys. And we were talking about earlier, like Voltron and Transformers. So that's where it's like all of a sudden I saw that shift from like really very like childish stuff to a little more action-centric kind of toys and stuff. Yeah, and actually, I just saw my buddy Rick said Barbie doll. Yeah, actually, I have sisters. I have sisters, so yeah, Barbie dolls are definitely a part of my upbringing for sure.
They got the adventures.
Chad, go ahead, sir.
When I was a kid, I really loved those SSP toys. I think they stood for supersonic power. They came in like cars, and they had a big central wheel, and you had a ripstick you would push in it, and you'd pull the ripstick and you'd put it down, and your car would just take off. And
Yeah.
they had a set that one year that came out that I just had to have. It was the Derby set. It came with a couple of jumps, and the way the cars were set up, the bumper had a piece where when you hit it, all the doors and fenders and that would fly off the car. And so me and my friends used to love jumping those off the jumps into each other. I really loved that toy when I was young. You know, that was a big deal when I got that one.
And actor, sir, birthday boy.
Yeah, so for me, you could tell it was Yo-Joe, man. It was G.I. Joe. So, my first memories of toys, I remember I had the Gung Ho, the Marine G.I. Joe, and my mom stepped on it, and I was just so heartbroken that was the end of Gung Ho, and I never forgave her for that. I didn't
Did
get
you have the Kung Fu Grip one?
No, the Kung Fu Grip ones I didn't have. No,
I had one of those as a kid.
Yeah. So I came with obviously the 3-inch figures, it was like 86, something like that. Before then, maybe 83, 84. But, I didn't get that again until eBay came out. And I started rebuying everything. I even got the flag, and I wish I still had it in my shed, because when my son was little, I built the aircraft carrier for him because I got it on eBay. But now it's up in the attic. I used to have it like assembled and everything. So I was big, huge G.I. Joe. And if you ever saw the movie, The Boy Who Could Fly with Fred Savage, you remember that movie? In that movie, the way he played with his G.I. Joes, bury him in the yard and stuff like that. And that was the way I played with mine. So it was like a whole adventure, not just playing with toys. They were in the yard. I used to bring the hovercraft in the pool, so it was a huge thing. And we didn't have much money. So funny story that my father used to go in the store, and I guess what he would do, I would wonder why a lot of my G.I. Joes didn't have any weapons, right? So other kids had all weapons. And what it was is my father would be stealing them from the store. He would scratch the corner of the box, slip them out, put them in his pocket, any ones that I wanted. And outside the store, there was like a big lawn. And I remember he used to say, "Hey, Aunt, maybe that G.I. Joe you wanted is over there somewhere. Maybe some kid dropped it." And I would go around the lawn, and I'd be like, "Dad, here it is! I found it!" All he would do is he'd be throwing them around and telling me to go find them. So, just those memories of that too. And I got a bunch of toys here. Then obviously, like Ed said, it goes into everything else from there. Thundercats, He-Man. What an era! It was amazing. And we used our imaginations back then, like you guys said. No computers or anything like that.
Yeah.
The video games weren't great. The video games are so great now that I think it takes away from their imagination,
Yeah, it does it all for you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I agree there. Yeah, and for me, it was definitely obviously He-Man. I'm a huge He-Man collector. I probably got enough to where if something happens to me, if I ever have grandchildren, they'll be able to pay for their college with it. But just I remember getting the like Ant has at the show here in a moment, but getting like Battle Cat, Panther, and then just basically ramming the crap out of them together until they're broken. And then you got the Mom, it broke, and then you gotta go. Then they go to buy it. There's another one from at that time. Toys R Us was huge, which is no longer around. And but yeah, actually they did open up a Toys R Us here in Wichita. It's a little pop-up shop, which is kind of cool. But yeah, it's the nostalgia just going to Toys R Us. I mean, it's like everything is just it makes you smile just thinking about it, because that was when times were so much easier. You didn't have to worry about paying bills. You didn't have to worry about, feeding your family or anything like that. So it was stress-free living. The only stress you had to worry about was if Skeletor was going to get away again. It was like,
yeah.
And also the cartoons.
Why did we ever want to grow up, man? Why?
Yeah. But also the cartoons back then, they all had a good message to them. Like at the end of the episode, you had G.I. Joe, you had, He-Man. They'd give you a little, lesson about what the episode was about.
Yeah.
And that taught a lot of people common sense and manners. And, even when my daughter was younger, they had Barney, where that was like huge. And I mean, this generation just doesn't have it.
Well, that's what I was having that discussion with my wife the other day. As you're growing up, as a kid, you get programmed to kind of be a certain way, by school, by television, your parents, your peers. And when we were kids, everything was set up to make you a good person. And these cartoons, they all had a message. They all taught you to be patriotic. Not to be a bully. To stick up for things. And now kids just don't have that same kind of message put into them. They have a different message put into them, and you can really see the difference in the way some of these people feel about their country and in some of the things. I think a lot of that just has to do with how you were programmed as a kid. We had a different programming than some of these older generations do now. As Gen Xers.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
That goes to the next question here. And this also goes for the audience as well. Is that what cartoon? Obviously, we know G.I. Joe with Ant, but it was like that you always had to make sure you watched. It was always like number one. Obviously, me with He-Man.
I like Sundar the Barbarian.
Yeah, right. So, what was yours, Chad?
Sundar the Barbarian. I like that one.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah,
I even had a dog named Ookla after his sidekick Ookla the Mock.
Yeah. What about you, Dub? What was your one that you had to watch?
He-Man for sure. Yeah, most definitely.
Ed?
Go ahead, Ed.
For me, it had to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, man. The fact that they were running around underground New York, I felt like one day I'm gonna run into them.
Yeah,
I'm a little older than you guys, so I remember when the original comics came out. They were kind of more adult oriented, and they were black and white, and they were kind of violent. I was disappointed when they made it kind of kiddie, because I had seen what they were originally like before that.
Yeah, the old East comics for sure. Yeah.
I wanted all the weapons, and my step grandfather was a woodworker, and he made me like some wood nunchucks and the little all the little stuff, man, to go with it. So it's pretty cool.
I only had the plastic ones.
I can't tell you how many times I beat myself up when I'm trying to learn to do dump trucks. Yeah.
Chad, Dub, we already went to Ed. What about you, bud?
So me, it was definitely G.I. Joe, but also everything. I mean, I got to say, I was probably a spoiled kid. I had every one of those things you guys talking about was a Christmas morning. You know what I'm saying? I woke up to this turtle sewer, to the Castle Grayskull, which I have Castle Grayskull right here, like Doug was saying.
Oh, man.
Right? So,
yeah.
I mean, every goddamn toy you can imagine. I had the Police Academy. I had the Police Academy headquarters, the Ghostbusters, Firehouse, every friggin' thing. I only have some of them now. Some of them I rebought. And, it was just, like I said, it was a great era. But I was into all of it, man, all of it. The Turtles, though, it's crazy because you mentioned the Turtles. Turtles came out in 89, 90. And I look at my daughter now and my son when they were 10, and they were like done playing with toys. I was like, I'm just getting my Turtles at your age. Like, and you're like way past toys now. So it's a little bit weird. And my mother said the same thing, even the generation before that. She was getting Barbies at 11. Now my daughter's going to Sephora and getting friggin' makeup and lotions and shit.
Yeah. My oldest sons were into the turtle toys. I was buying a lot of those for them when they were young.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that goes to the next pretty much next topic is that we grew up in an era to where it was still all hand drawn and flip page to make it go into a scene. But I remember watching when I first started getting like syndication cartoons, the Hanna-Barbera back in the the 60s and 70s ran it. I mean, you had Flintstones, you had Jetsons, and then they had the whole scheme of like wacky races, where you had Penelope and you had Muttley or he, every time that they would get in a wreck or whatever it might be. But they had such a line. They had Kong Kong Fooey. They had Wally Gator. They had Huckleberry Hound. I mean, there was like so many cartoons that were just a part of one Hanna-Barbera. And it's like, I mean, I see some people in comments in here. I've seen Hong Kong Fooey in here. And but yeah, that Hanna-Barbera is just, I mean, I can watch that today. And
Yeah.
then the 80s rolled
That's
around, and then it started going towards more the message. But even with Looney Tunes and things like that. So
Well, that was back before cable too, and so you only had
Yeah.
like 3-4 channels you could watch, and so everybody watched the same cartoons because you didn't have this big choice like they do now. You didn't have networks that play cartoons all the time, so a lot of those cartoons we've all seen, where now there's so many, that kids have a choice of. It's funny.
There's a comment. Gypsy just now commented, Captain Caveman. Yeah, that was just so many memories.
Yeah, but you know what? Right before Captain Caveman, shout out to Scally Wife. She mentioned Inspector Gadget. That was huge for me.
Yeah.
Like,
That was every morning before school. I was half asleep watching Inspector Gadget before school.
Yeah.
And that actually, that's funny. Somebody said about Inspector Gadget, because one of my next questions is going to be the greatest theme song from a cartoon, and that you can still hear. And Inspector Gadget, you got it's just like things like that. Remember, and so that was my next question. What was a theme song from a cartoon that you guys still like remember word for word now?
Dude, mine is it's kind of weird because I just thought of it. Darkwing Duck, Let's Get Dangerous.
oh man, I love that cartoon.
Busy afternoons.
But definitely Darkwing Duck, man. That one will be in my head forever, I believe. Yeah. Ed,
Yeah.
what you got, man?
Darkwing Duck. You have to use. This is the thing. It's not just Darkwing Duck. It was the whole lineup. There was
Yeah.
DuckTales, Darkwing Duck, Chippendale's Rescue Rangers.
Oh
right?
man.
I don't know if you remember. There was a series called Higher for Hire, which was Baloo from the Jungle Book. They put him like in some scenario where he was like a pilot or something. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, what was that? I'm trying to think of that.
I don't remember that, but Todd Soren just said Thundercats best theme song. I have to agree because that's the one I still remember. Thundercats.
There's Lionel.
Lionel right there. Yeah.
I found Lionel.
My favorite figure from that toy line was Groom the Destroyer. He was kind of a cool figure with the big single fang.
Yeah.
Panther on that vehicle that he had was sick.
Anthro?
Yeah, and the vehicle that he drove.
Yeah. Yeah, and I had Slide and the other ones that all the bad guys from that.
What was your
Slide, Monkey, and Jackal Man, Vulture Man.
Oh man, he's a Vulture Man. Holy cow!
Yeah.
What about your favorite theme song, Chad?
Boy, I don't know. You guys kind of named some of them. Thundercats was a pretty cool one.
Yeah,
that's pretty memorable.
I mean, for me, I think I would have to agree with Todd. I would have to say Thundercats. The He-Man one's been in my head all week, though, I gotta say. Because I saw the trailer to the movie, and then a fan took the trailer to the movie and he put the original song on it. And if you try to get that on YouTube, where you see the He-Man movie trailer, but he put the original song on it, it's sick. So that's just all week long. It's been in my head.
That trailer looks pretty promising. I'm surprised that you have a lot of YouTube videos out there dissing it. I think it looks like it might be pretty good.
Yeah, I can't see it. I want to see it. Let's be
some hate for sure. Yeah.
You know what's going to be so cool is in just a few more years, they're going to be able to do whole movies like that using AI. Imagine some of the stuff that some of these people are going to be able to bring up and make as movies. I mean, they already have pretty decent AI movies now on YouTube that some people are doing. And just a few more years, that technology is going to be crazy.
Well, that's what I think. It's coming out now where they can make it good and believable. I saw that one in the 80s that was kind of like Muppety a little bit,
Yeah.
So the next question for us is a cartoon that has been like forgotten, or that you just like, it was one of the ones that were lesser known, but it was a great cartoon. And I'll go ahead and start. I actually got a couple or three of them. I hope I don't take any. I'll go last just in case one of you guys go. Yeah. Go ahead, B-Dub or Dubs.
Man, that's I don't know. This hasn't been forgotten, but like Dick Tracy, things like that. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's really all I can think of right now. Everything that I really know is popular. So, yeah, Dick Tracy.
What about you, Ed?
For me, damn, there's so many. Obviously, Inspector Gadget was a big one for me. You know, I might just this one. I have to give a shout out to my sisters for this one. Gem, remember that?
Jim? Okay. All right.
Truly outrageous. Truly
Yeah,
outrageous.
because that was after school hanging out with my cousins and my sisters and stuff. It's
Yeah.
we kind of had to give them their time. Like, all right, the girls want to play with their Barbies, the girls want to watch like Gem and like the girly stuff, and then
Yeah.
let's give them some time because then we're gonna get to watch the other stuff, and then we would find ourselves just kind of like stuck in here watching like, oh my god, so these girls are pop stars and they're like superheroes.
Yeah. My cousins, they love Jim, man. So yeah, I know all about it. I was forced to watch it.
And then we became fans.
Yeah.
What about you, Chad?
I liked that cartoon Dark Waters. That didn't last very long for very many seasons, but that was pretty good. I don't know if you guys seen that. It was like a kind of a pirate-based cartoon. And then Tarzan the animated series was pretty decent.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Yeah. I wish somebody would put that back out again. I'd like to see some of those.
Yeah, so I got two of them. Two of them that I think, get the show stolen from them a little bit. One, somebody just put up Heathcliff. So Heathcliff, but not Heathcliff. Not Heathcliff. Riff Raff and his boys in the junkyard. These guys. And Riff Raff had the scally. And Riff Raff was a tough son of a bitch. I always used to wonder who would win in a fight, Heathcliff or Riff Raff, because they always would scrap. I wanted to see the fight of them again.
Was he the dog or was
no? What was Riff Raff? Was he a cat or a dog? I don't know.
No, Riff Raff was a cat.
Yeah,
Riff Raff was an alley cat.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
Riff Raff is an alley cat. So I would wonder what if him and Heathcliff threw down, who would win? Because Heathcliff was always kicking everybody's ass. And then the other one, and Riff Raff had the scally too.
Yeah.
And the other one was so Woody Woodpecker was the star of the show.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
But
Yeah.
what about Chili Willy? Chili Willy would always come on before Woody Woodpecker.
The old Woody Woodpeckers were really crazy. Those are the ones.
Yeah.
The newer ones, he had blue legs, and the older ones, he had flesh-colored legs with the little rings around them.
Yeah.
Those were really crazy compared to the later ones.
The older Woody Woodpecker was psychotic, and so was the older Daffy Duck.
Yes.
Daffy Duck too.
Somebody actually mentioned one of the ones I was going to mention. That was the Littles.
Those what?
You had the Littles. That
Littles
was one of the ones that. And then
if I saw it, I probably.
Do you guys remember the Munchies?
Munchies. I do remember Munchies. I would like to see it though.
They had a toy that went with that too.
Yeah.
How
about Shirt Tails?
Shirt Tails, I don't remember.
Oh, don't remember Shirt Tails. Anybody in the chat remember these two? And then the third one I had was probably the Littles was definitely there. We had Shirt Tails. We had what about Gummy Bears?
Gummy Bears.
Yeah.
I think you win with the Munchies though. Because I'm going to go look that up right after this.
They're like a girl's toy kind of thing.
Was it?
Yeah, they were like little monkeys.
Yeah. They were something that girls liked. I remember my sister had one.
Care Bears and strawberry shortcake and all that.
Yeah.
So she had shit.
Right, so
And the Smurfs.
Now we're going to do some quick answer ones.
Smurfs was great.
Yeah, the Smurfs were good.
Smurfs was great. Gargamel.
Gargamel and
yeah, John Leary put on here is like gummy bears are candy. No, sir, they were. G-U-M-I was a cartoon. Yeah.
They got to bring back the evil Smurfette with the dark hair. She was originally created by Gargamel.
Yeah, the evil Smurfette. I remember that.
Yeah.
He's seizing my opportunities to throw toys in here.
Dude.
He's evil He-Man.
Oh, Faker. Yeah.
Faker.
Oh, that's cool.
Did you have Ram Man with the head that telescoped?
Oh,
Yeah. Does he still spring?
Go,
I don't think so. Yeah, he's still sprinting.
Oh yeah. Nice.
go on and pull out Battle Cat while you're at it, man.
Yeah, his Battle Cat. His Battle Cat.
Yeah.
Nice.
His He-Man without his armor, like I always said, stuff's missing. You know. And what I always thought was funny, it was like, you know, you look like Evil Lynn, and I'm like, Evil Lynn, she had some back, bro. And how many of you guys used to do a little stuff like that?
Doing a lot of squats. You know, He-Man originally started out as a Conan ripoff. He looked more like Conan, and he had a horned helmet, and they got sued by the Conan people, and then that's how he became what he is now.
Looks a lot like
that was probably the best thing that ever happened to them getting sued.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, if you go online and look at the original artwork and stuff of him, he basically is like a Conan clone before they had to change him because of the lawsuit.
I
Yeah, that
didn't know
makes
that
sense.
until you told us. So.
Yeah. I'm a little older than you guys, so I remember when all that stuff happened.
Beastman. Beastman was one of my absolute favorite toys ever. This
What
is
is
a Beastman.
Oh, Beastman.
Oh,
yeah.
Beastman. It's hard
This
for me
is
to
from-
see on the phone here.
From the re-release that I bought two of them. I opened one and I kept one in the box, but it's the exact same one. Yeah, he was. That was an awesome toy. I'm looking at it right now. Like, it just brings back memories just looking at them, man. You know,
Yeah, Voltron cartoon. That was Voltron toys. Yeah, those are.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody said Stretch Armstrong.
Transformers.
Oh yeah. If anybody ever have one of those Stretch Armstrongs rip open, they're full of this like syrupy tar that you can't get off of anything. When it gets out of them, it's just a nightmare. A friend of mine had one that busted his closet and got all over their shag rug. His mom threw just the biggest fit.
Yeah, it's so funny you said that. I had a Stretch Armstrong, and my parents, my dad had a Dodge Omni. I don't know if you remember what those were. Real small cars.
Yeah.
And I was sitting in the back seat, and I was playing with Stretch Armstrong, and it started leaking. And I put it behind the seat. You had that velvet felt thing to go in the trunk. Oh, that thing was covered in it. And I didn't say a word. I remember my dad was cleaning his car out like a few months later. He's like, "What the hell's all this shit?"
What was the monster that went with Stretch Armstrong? The green monster guy. I can't remember his name. The guy that Stretch Armstrong was supposed to fight.
No, but I remember Gumby when you said Green Monster.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Gumby. Yeah.
Yeah. No. There was another figure that went with Stretch Armstrong. He was green, but he had like a monster head. But I can't remember what they called him.
I do remember.
Somebody in the chat will give the answer. I'm sure someone in the chat will give that answer.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
But it's kind of funny that they filled it with like a red syrup too.
Listen, Tim Placilla said the best thing. We tied Stretch Armstrong between our bikes until it pulled apart.
Oh man!
Did they call that drawn and quarter?
Yeah, it's a little
The
bit
flayed
evil.
hand.
Yeah, so I was just. I mean, it's just like when you said Stretch Armstrong, it triggers, like I said, it triggers memories. That I haven't thought about that ruining my dad's back of his car in 30 years, and it just not triggered that. So it was just
go to that now. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Another kid I enjoyed as a kid too was the Evel Knievel stunt bike. You'd put him on the stand and you'd crank that thing off and he'd shoot off, and it had like a little Evel Knievel figure on it. We used to jump that thing and smash it into everything. That thing was so tough. We even had a second story roof on our house, and we would have him jump off the house into the yard, and the toy never broke.
That was
how
a
excited
well-made
Jad's getting
toy.
right now.
Yeah, that thing came back, the Evil Knievel thing. It went through a couple of phases.
Oh, that was a fun toy. That and those, like I said, those SSPs, I had a lot of fun with. As a kid, my parents, especially in the summer, they kick you out of the house at like 8:30 in the morning, and you couldn't come back in except for lunch, and then you'd have to get back out. So we were outside all day long playing with toys, and I loved Army Men, and
Yeah.
All right, we're going to pause for a second. If you guys could, I put the links in the chat as well. If you guys could subscribe to our channels here on YouTube so we can check all of our reviews, whatever we may be talking about. Anox is doing some great fireside chats recently that really hit home. And so I'll go ahead and put those in the chat again. I already did pin it once, but if you guys could, and go ahead and subscribe to those channels, that would be greatly appreciated.
Appreciate it.
And so from there, we're going to go kind of like a 1v1 type thing. You know, that no one really brought this up, but if you had to have these two going against each other, who would win? I mean, this would be we had Ninja Turtles versus Thundercats.
Who's answering? We all answering it, or are we going around?
Yeah, we're going one quick answer for each of buddy.
Quick answer. Starting with Dubs.
I'm going with Ninja Turtles, man. Yeah, going with Ninja Turtles. What about you, Ed?
Violent Ninja Turtles for the win.
Yeah, if it's the black and white Ninja Turtles, the original Ninja Turtles from the comics, they're going through the Thundercats, no problem.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go Thundercats, man. It'd be a different one because the Thundercats have like the Sword of Omens and everything, and they have like real magic and stuff. The Turtles
Yeah,
are
but
just
you got Snarf in there messing everything up.
Turtles just like karate, man. But Raphael was my favorite one. He was the real New Yorker, Raphael. He's the badass.
Yep, exactly. Exactly.
I would have to go with the Thundercats as well.
Mm.
All right. So then we got the next one, which we got is your favorite hero or villain from a cartoon.
Man, I want to say Skeletor, but since we've been talking about the Smurfs, I'm going with Gargamel. Yeah. For real. Yeah. What about you, Ed?
All right. My favorite villain is not from an 80s cartoon. It's actually Mark Hamill's Joker from Batman the Animated Series.
Okay.
It's a great. Yeah.
That was a 90s card. I actually have
not-
I have that Joker tattooed on my leg. That's how much I love that guy.
That's
Cool.
the from the 90s that I watched. You're right. That was like dipping into the 90s.
Yeah. Yeah. Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah, because that was a great cartoon.
My turn.
Yep.
Mumra, the ever living.
He was great.
All right,
Yeah,
I'm going with Skeletor, Lord of Darkness.
With Panther.
With Panther.
Thor. Yeah.
There's actually somebody already took one of my mind. What I was going to say, that was Gypsy and Vanilla Gorilla. They said Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
And then another one, Tim, good old Tim.
I would have thought you would have said Hordak.
Well, Snake Eyes is not a
yeah. It would have been Skeletor first.
the Snake Eyes right here. He's not a villain. He means Cobra or Destro.
Yeah. Then you had Tim Purcell put on there Dick Dastardly from Wacky Races. That is great. Megatron, that's another good one. That's a good one too. Yeah.
Megatron.
Yeah.
I have Soundwave here. I think this is a Soundwave from when my son was little, though.
How did you find those? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. This is this. I think. Yeah. I bought this for my son because I rebought stuff for my son. You know, he had the cassette in there, and the guy comes out and forms into like a dog. I think out of the cassette. It's funny because when I was up in the attic, I was getting nostalgic over my son's toys, not even mine. That's how freaking old I am. Nostalgic over his toys. I'm like, oh, I remember when he had that.
Yeah, that was I did misword that. You're right there, Gypsy. I did say hero or villain. I meant to say villain. But yeah, there was in each one of those cartoons back then always had the dark side of everything, and it was a learning. You know what was right and wrong.
I always liked
over
the Empire over the Rebels for Star Wars.
Yeah. It was always a balance, man. So that's
All right, so our next topic. Anybody else have anyone more you want to touch on the toys or cartoons before we start going to the next?
Yeah,
next
I'm surprised we haven't mentioned any of the Marvel superheroes. That was my first Spider-Man. Yeah. This is Spider-Man. You know, they have like the years on the back. I think it says like 84 or something. It's from that first series. It's like a little faded out.
I was a big comic book collector as a kid.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you see, I didn't get into Marvel until the 90s. It wasn't until I was already in middle school when my friends introduced me to like X-Men books and Incredible Hulk. So the Uncanny X-Men, the Incredible Hulk, and Spectacular Spider-Man. Those were like the first comic books that I bought. and then all the different Batman series, because I think at one point there might have been like 4 different storylines for Batman. And we had a couple of comic book shops in my neighborhood. So when I was in middle school, we're talking about like 91 to 93. That's the time when I got into like the Marvel or the DC stuff, like
Yeah.
hardcore. But prior to that, it was just whatever was on TV.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Do y'all remember the Beetlejuice cartoon? It was probably
Oh, yeah.
late 80s, early 90s. Yeah.
Yeah. Beetlejuice, I think, was like 1990, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It was right after the movie.
Yeah.
well, a lot of that
What
stuff
if-
they viewed on Saturday morning cartoons, and when the TV guide came out for the fall, I'd be like, "Yo, what
Yeah.
are the Saturday morning cartoons?" And you would have like the Hulk Hogan one and stuff, like,
Mhm.
whatever they would
Dude, I
turn
know.
into a cartoon.
I know this is not a cartoon, but Pee Wee's Playhouse, man, talk about a fever
Oh,
dream,
yeah.
dude. That was it's pretty
I
crazy.
wish I
Gumby.
had a talking Pee Wee Herman doll. I wish I still had the talking Pee Wee Herman doll. I'd have it right now.
Yeah.
The string.
Yeah.
Make a high hope.
Yes.
Listen,
So
Moose,
the
how
next
was
one
that?
we're going to do outside of action figures, toys in general. Okay, like we had somebody talk about Big Wheel earlier on. What are some of those memorable toys that were like used outside of the house? And so I'm just going to what kind of memories you had of that. Go ahead, Dub.
So yeah, my main one is this big wheel here. That's me and my cousin. Dude, we would go down hills on that sucker and jump off of my grandmother's retaining wall at the basement. We ended up like just breaking the wheel off on that sucker, man. But it was so cool, man. And that was like my first taste of freedom kind of as a kid, to get out and wheel around on the big wheel, man. So that would definitely be my favorite childhood toy. Yeah.
That's badass.
Yeah.
What about you, Ed?
Anything with wheels, to be honest with you. So I didn't have a big wheel like that. Eventually, I ended up getting like a regular bike with the training wheels. So I had a bike. My cousin had a skateboard, and my cousin actually had a GI Joe skateboard. So the deck itself had the old school GI Joe logo printed on it. And there's a hill in our neighborhood. We called it Snake Hill, and we would. I mean, I still have scars. I mean, I literally have a scar on my forehead from cracking my head open. Like he would take my bike and I would take his skateboard and rolling down and just smacking ourselves against whatever the hell we could break our fall with. Like between my knees are jacked, forehead, elbows, arms. I've covered most of them with tattoos, but
Yeah.
yeah, those are the memories.
Yeah, as I used to say, or as I say now, it sounded like a good idea at the time.
Oh, great idea.
All right, Chad, what do you got for your favorite outside toy?
I lived on my BMX bike as a kid, but as far as toys, I loved playing. Me and my friends used to do crazy things with lawn darts. I don't know if you remember those things. They're based off an old Roman weapon called the plumbata. You have like a big circle, and you throw the darts kind of like horseshoes and try to land them in it. And then also my Daisy BB gun. We used to have BB gun wars all the time in the neighborhood. Not with the pump kind, but with the spring ones. And
Yeah.
I loved that.
Yeah,
Dude,
man.
those are so cool.
There's so many, man. I mean, like the BMX bikes we talked about last week, but I had the Dukes of Hazzard car. Actually, you would pedal that thing, and I just go a million miles an hour with it. My big wheel was actually a transformer big wheel that transformed in the front of it.
What did it turn into?
It's just like the front face turned into a little robot looking face, and then how about the Super Soakers, man? The Super Soaker 200 with double barrel.
The double barrel. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
the double barrel Super Soaker 200, man. That was awesome. And there's just so many things, man.
Yeah, for me, I would have to say the slip and slides.
No.
To mine too.
Yeah, slip and slides were fun and most overrated ever, which I never understood how it stayed in business as long as it did. You guys remember pogo balls?
I was about to ask about that. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I mean, those I never could figure it out. Yeah.
Dude, I busted my head wide open on one of those, man. Yeah.
And I was surprised Chad didn't say hula hoop because that was like one of the original laws.
That was my mom. She was like a champion hula hooper.
Really?
Yeah.
Good exercise.
Yeah, that's
But
what it was.
the
That's
slip and
what- I
slide,
remember
you got to
doing it in
use the
gym
soap.
class.
Soap down a slip and slide.
Yeah. Yeah, put down the slip and slide. Oh, how many times did you put your foot on the first part of the plat and you just end up hitting the back of your head? Because your feet go right
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My son's baseball team still uses them in the summertime. They used to practice sliding on the slip and slides like the last day of camp or something. Those are the best.
Yeah, we used to do that when baseball. We used to put the garbage bags in the gym and had to slide on the garbage bags. Yeah.
Right.
Wintertime, got too cold.
I used to love playing floor hockey in the gym in the wintertime. It's a good winter sport.
Oh yeah, just don't take something in the nuts with that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stick or a puck.
But you guys ever played broom ball? That's a pretty fun game to play.
Mm-mm.
Oh, with the wicker brooms over there, or the brush.
They take brooms that are dipped in rubber, so it's like a solid paddle. And you have shoes that have these kind of foamy bottoms with suction cups on them, and you play on a hockey rink. And you have a ball. It's like hockey, but with a ball and brooms and these weird suction shoes. maybe it's just a Minnesota thing. I don't know.
That sounds insane, though.
I
Sounds
got a
cool.
good one for you. Growing up in New York City, you're either playing outside in the streets or you go out to the playgrounds. But my cousins, they quote unquote invented a game that we could play in the hallway of our building, right? And we wanted to play baseball, so we hit the ball. We had like a little whatever kind of ball, like a handball. We'd hit it and we'd run back and forth, and we'd have these make believe plates and bases. And then one day we all take like a trip up to the Bronx and we go up to this park, Van Cortlandt Park, and we see a bunch of grown men playing what we thought was like, oh look, they're playing the same type of baseball we are. Turns out it was cricket.
Yep. Rusty metal puck.
Yeah, so we thought we were playing baseball like a modified baseball in the
Yeah.
hallway. My cousins played us. Our older cousins played us lovely. They're like, yeah, by the way, this is cricket.
Yeah, you walk through Flushing Meadow Park on a certain day, you got cricket whizzing by your friggin' head, going into the trees and shit.
I have a friend that plays in the league out there.
Really?
It's,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
it's pretty crazy. Because one time I went to a Met Yankee game, I had to park and walk through the field. Friggin' cricket balls flying everywhere.
Those things hurt.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
What about when we went outside? I mean, I don't know if you guys want to cover this episode, but like neighborhood games, like you guys were saying, like the games you guys made up. What about like you guys ever have like Mother May I play Mother May I? Yes, you may. We take one step forward. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah. We get big games of 60 with all the neighborhood kids. We get 10 or 15 kids playing or capture the flag. We used to have a lot of fun. And back then, you'd have all these kids running through everybody's yards, and none of the neighbors cared. I mean, yeah, you do that now, and you're going to have the police called on you.
Yeah.
I mean, I think of some of the stuff I did as a kid, running around shooting each other with BB guns. You'd have the police called on you now. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, we were a little tougher back then as well, so it was.
Yeah, well, society was just a lot different about stuff like that,
What about Roman candle wars, man?
Oh yeah, I've been shot with a Roman candle more than once. Yeah.
When you came home, your mom and dad would be like, "Oh, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Rub some dirt on it."
Yeah, for real.
When we got hurt from stuff like that, we never told our parents because you get more trouble from your parents than the pain. So
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I crashed my bike.
yeah, or how many injuries I just had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
we were shooting off Roman candles once, and the cops came down the block, like the Giuliani era, when they were trying to get rid of all the fireworks. And my father's shooting off a Roman candle, and here comes the cops pull up, and he puts the Roman candle behind his back like he's hiding it, and shooting off behind his
Oh yeah, that was
Pretty good.
My favorite neighborhood game was probably Red Rover.
Red Rover, yeah.
And I would make sure I'd get on the other side where somebody I didn't like. they're on the other side, and I'd be like, "Send Jim over," and I would clothesline the hell out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Red Rover was a lot of fun. What are some kind of neighborhood games you used to play?
I did Red Rover and just like Larry said, football, things like that, man. So yeah. Red Rover was the thing though, man. That was the stuff back in the day. So yeah.
Well,
Yeah, for
we also
us-
played a game that it can't be said anymore. It's called Smear the, and then you
Oh
fill
yeah,
the blank.
yeah. We used to play that all the time. I was gonna say it.
For us, it was kill the carrot. We called it kill the carrot.
Smear the
What was it
weirdo.
called? Yeah.
See,
Yeah, and then if you had the football, everybody just come and gang tackle you. And then you had, you know,
Well,
it was
that's what that word used to mean, weirdo.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, until it was appropriated.
it was appropriate.
Yeah.
Moose, you were playing Ding Dong Ditch, man. You were not.
Oh yeah, we used to play that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing is that in my area we had my neighbor was a cop, so that was kind of like we couldn't even go around his house. So we were like,
Gotcha.
so there was like we had to go across the next street over in order to just even get in any kind of trouble. But
Yeah.
I can't even say half the stuff we used to do as a kid because it would just sound like I was making it up.
Aren't you glad cell phones weren't around then, man, to take
Yeah.
pictures and all that? Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
well, we
Yeah.
For
you know
sure.
it's funny you said that. We had a meeting at work about if we had cell phones in our generation.
Oh,
my
yeah.
first answer,
Oh.
my first answer was like, what would happen? I was like, I would never be able to run for president.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thankful there wasn't the internet when I was a teenager. You know, I played in a couple punk bands, and some of the stupid stuff I would have probably wrote online that would always be
Oh,
there.
yeah.
It's like,
Oh,
thank
yeah.
God.
It would be game over for a lot of us.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, here's another one. Gypsy put hide and seek. Yeah, oh yeah, hide and seek.
Yeah.
Well, for us, it was manhunt. You manhunt throughout the whole damn neighborhood. Come back with stitches, and manhunt was
What-
the big thing for us.
What
Well, we-
about
we
the hunting snipe, man? Did y'all ever do that? Like it was on like a episode of Cheers. It was like a fake animal that was in a tree, and you would go out and try to find it.
No, I
It
never
was-
heard of
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah, well, it's a snipe is a fake thing that people will use and when they're gonna like spoof them in the woods and take them out
Yeah.
hunting for the first time.
yeah.
I'm just gonna put something in the chat real quick. See if we have any more comments on there. Everybody who's watching, what was your guys' favorite outside game as well that you guys play with the neighborhood? And I'm guessing that most of our viewers are probably around our age. So
Larry said, "Kick the bucket."
kick the bucket. That's Stone Age games.
I'm going to bust Leary's balls. Let me bust Leary's balls right now. Is Leary going back to like Skelsey and Punchball and all that?
Oh, man.
Hopscotch,
Listen, for
Potato.
us in New York City, it was if we were indoors because, like for example, I grew up in a 5-story apartment building with about 30 different apartments. So Ding Dong Ditch was we can do that all day. Literally 30
Yeah.
different apartments. You're running up and down 5 flights of stairs. If we were able to get the roof access open, we'd go up to the roof, jump over to the next building's roof because the buildings were connected, and go downstairs to my friend's building and Ding Dong Ditch and 30 different apartments over there. But being able to close off the street to traffic, it was a one-way street, put a couple of garbage cans out there, and use the entire street to play two-hand touch football. And man, I got slammed against cars so many times. And we just shake it off and keep going.
Yeah.
Got pushed into a pole once. My head was out to here, man. My dad was just like, throw some ice on it. Now you take the kid to the hospital.
You'll bounce back, man. You'll bounce
Yeah,
back.
throw some ice. Looking look like an alien.
We used to get a bunch of guys together with BMX bikes at the park, and we would play like a version of polo, but on our bikes with a ball, and you could kick it or hit it, and that was
Right.
pretty fun. DeSoto the ball down the field with your bike, and
Man, that would have been fun too. Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to venture off when it was raining outside. All right, so you had raining outside, you had nothing else to do, so you brought everybody inside, you had the family inside, and it goes to board games. All right. what was some of the memorable board games we had from our childhood that I actually well, I know a few of my favorites, and like I said, I'll go last just in case somebody already covers them. But yeah, that's what I want to know. Your guys, like your go-to board game with friends or with family, and go ahead and start off there, Dub.
Yeah, I guess like sorry, man. What's the one where you press the little bubble down?
That's
Is that
sorry.
it?
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Boggle?
Monopoly. Yeah.
Yeah. I like those games.
Yeah. Probably that one. I wasn't a big board game player really, but when I Candyland, man, back in the day, like when I was real young, but Monopoly, those types. Yeah.
What about you, Ed?
Yeah, I definitely had a Monopoly game. I've always, even to this day, like I still play Monopoly with my kids. But at my cousin lived right across the hall from us. He actually had Battleship. That was
Oh, I used to love that game. Yeah.
that was one of the coolest games to play.
Yeah. Well, for me, my favorite game, it's not really a board game, but was Dungeons and Dragons. I played that ever since I was in fifth grade. The game was created here in Minnesota and Wisconsin, and so back when it used to be in pamphlets before they ever came out in books, I loved playing that. I played role playing games all up into early adulthood. As far as board games, I like Stratego a lot. That's a fun game.
Mm-hmm.
Chad, you watch Stranger Things, Chad?
Huh?
You watch Stranger Things?
I have seen it. Yeah, I haven't seen this last season, but I've seen all the other seasons up to
Oh,
it.
it's like Dungeons and Dragons. It's like kind of based on that.
Yeah, yeah. The Demigorgon. That's one of the main monsters in the early sets.
So for me, I freaking hate board games, man. I hate board games. I always hate board games. They're the fucking worst. My wife loves them. She's got them all stacked up. They were a big Monopoly family. I would always be like, oh God, no, When I started dating, I just played Monopoly, just like be around her at our house and stuff with her family. I freaking hate board games, dude. Mousetrap was pretty cool because it had all the gadgets and everything, and it was like a three-dimensional board game. And I like
Goldberg machine.
and I like Trivial Pursuit because that you could actually.
Yeah, it's a fun game. It depends, especially depending on the edition.
Yeah, you can test your intelligence with that, and really, most people don't know the answers, but you can make educated guesses. And I swear, I think I'm undefeated in that game. So, Trivial Pursuit, I would say.
My wife calls me the Dex because I'm a fount of useless knowledge. I know all kinds of things about stupid stuff, and so I'm great at games like Trivial Pursuit.
Trivial Pursuit, man.
Yeah, so there was already one in the chat. You guys remember Fireball Island?
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
I don't recognize that one.
I don't
Uno. My kids love playing Uno. What's another game that drives me nuts? It never ends.
Well, Uno will ruin friendships. Uno will definitely ruin friendships.
I used to cheat Uno all the time. Slide the wild cards up my sleeves.
My favorite game as a young kid would have been Crossbows and Catapults. Where you guys remember that at all? Where you had to build like the castle, and then you had to shoot the crossbows at it, try to tear down the castle.
Oh, no.
I've never played it, but I remember the game.
Yeah.
I consider card games as well, guys. Yeah. Go fish.
I got. My parents divorced when I was very young, and so I got raised by a young single father, and so he constantly played like backgammon and cribbage and gin rummy and all those games from the time both me and my sister were very young. We were playing all those with them. So
I played Old Maid with my grandmother, man. So
Old Maid. What was the other one that had you had to flip down the things and match the faces?
Go Fish. Go Fish.
Go Fish. Yeah.
No. We had like all the people's faces, and you had to pick the matches.
Guess who?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Connect Four. You're right, Ed. Connect Four was another.
Yeah.
And when I got older, I'll tell you a pretty good story. When I got a little older, where gambling started getting involved. This is one of the reasons why I don't gamble because my back then I had a little bit more of a shorter fuse. And there was a poker game called AC Deucey. You ever play that? We had the ace. Basically, you got to get the cards in between. So the dealer will flip up 2 cards. Let's say you had the 2 and the 10, and there would be a pot there. So your next card had to be in between the 2 and the 10, and then if you could put however much you wanted in the pot, and then take that much out. And sure enough, I had pulled up ace deuce, so I had all the cards to go in between. And I was like, I'm going to match the pot. And back then, it was, it wasn't like the kind of the money we got now. So I think the pot was like maybe $100. And sure shit enough, they flipped over an ace. I flipped the damn table over. I'm done. It ended up costing me more because I had to replace my friend's parents' table. It was bad. Yeah.
$100. That's to buy a few hats, man. You always think about it like
exactly.
that.
Yeah, no, that could have been something on there. Yeah, see, so there we go. AC Deucey, there you go. Somebody remembers it. Yeah, euchre, that was another good one. Spades. Oh, my wife's family, we play spades all the time. Yeah.
It's been a while since I played that.
Yeah, that'll get some juices flowing as well. But like Aunt said, playing Monopoly because at the time his girlfriend loved it. The sacrifices you make.
Sacrifices. Not only that, it was like that, dominoes. They used to play bingo. Right?
Oh, yeah. I used to play a lot of dominoes with my dad, too.
Yeah.
All the old man games.
And they play a game called Tripoli. Tripoli's not bad, actually. It's like a mix of poker and other things. That's a pretty cool game. It's like a mix of 3 different card games.
All right, so everybody in the chat, you guys have any questions for us? Go and start typing them in the chat before we get to that. And
were you going to say no?
I was just gonna say, what about your models, man? Building model cars and stuff.
Oh yeah, I used to.
Yeah,
I was very into models as a kid. I especially love like World War II airplanes and that. I think that was bigger in the 70s than it was in the 80s. All the model kits, and then they would have some of the model kits of the Universal monsters, like the werewolf and the mummy, and parts of them would glow in the dark. And
cool.
That's cool.
I loved World War II planes, so we would even heat up needles or nails to do the little fake bullet holes in the plane and stuff like that, like they got strafed. And yeah.
My uncle had all those old battleships, and he was a big World War II buff, and he had train sets too. Big into train sets. I used to go in his basement and run his trains when I went over there.
Because I had a single dad, he worked a lot, and so I had a little 12-inch black and white TV in my room that I would watch. I was kind of raised by a TV. But late at night, TV used to sign off, like 12 o'clock midnight, and before it would sign off, they would always play World War II footage from the battles from World War II, real combat footage, the fighter planes or the Marines, the Pacific, or the guys during D-Day and that. And that kind of hardwired my brain to love all that stuff. I think that's one of the reasons why I ended up going in the military. But
Chad, you just brought up something about like the end of like the channels, like when they went off air at the end of the night.
They would sign off at night. Yeah.
Do you remember when they used to play like I remember. I don't remember.
They played the Star Spangled Banner before they'd sign off. Yep.
Yeah. All right. I was wondering if you remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had the picture of the Indian pin or the Indian nickel or whatever it was. I can't remember what was on there as well. I remember just doing like. We touched on that. I had to do a report on that when I was in school, and about how times have changed and where now the channels are 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the models.
I think they went 24 hours once cable and that all started coming around. I remember
the cable news channels. Yeah, once the cable news channels became a thing, and then you had like all the infomercials.
Yeah.
Infomercials. That used to be.
That's what they would play a lot of late at night. Yeah.
That was when the 1-900 channel commercial started.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
The BET uncut.
Oh yeah.
Skinamax.
The scrambled channels where you had to like try to figure out what was in there.
We had trouble, man. We used our fingers to channel down to catch a blimp, and now they just friggin'
I know. This This might be regional.
You didn't do as much channel surfing back in those days because unless you were rich, you didn't have a TV with a remote, so you weren't getting up constantly and turning the knob on the TV to see what was on the next channel. So you ended up sitting through sometimes shows you wouldn't always choose to watch just because you didn't want to get up.
And we were our parents' human remote controls. Change the channel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for real.
This might have been regional. So Ant might have remembered this, but we had this one program late at night called Robin Bird. You remember that, Ant?
Robin Bird? No, I don't remember that.
Robin Bird was this woman who hosted like this late night, like very like softcore kind of show, and it was the most ridiculous thing, but it was like the closest
What
thing
channel?
to like I don't remember. It was like on paper, not pay-per-view, like public access TV.
Oh shit! Okay.
It was on public access TV, and this was the closest we could come to like adult content as kids.
Like a virus in there with a breast,
Mind you, like there wasn't actual nudity. There was never any nudity, but it was like they kind of hinted at it. We were all like, "Oh crap!"
Oh, that's funny. The thing is, I grew up in the Detroit area, so Canada was only right across the bridge. So we get Canadian channels, which was CBC. So after you had the Don Cherry night of hockey, and after that, it would go to like TV. And over there, their laws were different. I remember being 8 years old and going to CBC, and they'd have like full nudity on the TV just because you were able to get the on CBC. And I'm like 8 years old, like, what in the world?
Please, man.
Yeah, that was some of the memories there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, those model cars there, I know like we got a little off the topic, but those model cars, I just don't have the patience for those. I bought some about a year and a half ago from Hobby Lobby. My wife went to Hobby Lobby. I'm going to try to do model cars, see if I got the patience for it. Yeah, they're still in the box. They're still in the basement.
I've done a few,
That's
man.
rich.
My dad used to do them. I had some airplanes that we would hang up on the ceilings and stuff, that.
Yeah, I used to have airplanes hanging from my ceiling. I would hang them up with dental floss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to use fishing line, and put them on the fan.
Yeah.
Spin the fan.
Yeah.
And you're going around.
Well, what used to be model cars are now just Lego sets. So between adults and kids are just heavy into just doing these huge elaborate Lego sets. My daughter loves that stuff. As a matter of fact, and this is very much 80s related. For my birthday a few years ago, she made me an 80s era Lamborghini Countach. The car that I don't know if you guys ever saw The Wolf of Wall Street.
I've never seen it.
Yep.
The white Lamborghini that Leonardo DiCaprio crashes. She made me that. So I actually have it here. Hold on.
The one he crashes when he's old.
He thought he got home okay.
When he's high on the Quaaludes. So this is a Lego
that
version
movie is
of
like. That's awesome.
Yeah, I have this. There's another couple of other cars that she made for me, but that one, it takes me back to Wolf of Wall Street and knowing that, like these guys, these like 80s, Wall Street, like rich guys, like literally destroyed priceless vehicles like this because they were so hot.
Yeah, like a lot of that. True.
You guys ever play with your Rector sets and off? You can make so many cool things with those.
No, I never got into that. Those things, I remember my
remember
dad.
the Sandlot. The Sandlot had a bit of it.
And I remember the sharp edges, and I was like,
I didn't have a lot of supervision, so I didn't have to worry. I had to learn the hard way about stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I didn't have much supervision either. I learned my lesson young ago.
Well, I got raised by a young single father who worked a lot, and he always told me, "I don't care what you do, just don't get caught. And if you do get caught, don't call home." So I had to make sure I didn't get caught.
Well, it's not appropriate here. I would tell you my best advice my father gave me, but I'm not going to bring that up here.
Yo, I heard that advice, and I got to tell you, I won't say exactly what it was, but it's the worst advice, but the best advice all rolled into one. They know what I'm talking about.
Well, listen, I mean, we, especially Ed and I, we grew up in that era. I mean, all of us probably, where the neighborhood raised us, right? So it
Yeah.
wasn't, you couldn't, there was a lot of stuff you couldn't get away with because if my mom was at work, I knew that my neighbor was going to reprimand me for if she caught me doing something like that I shouldn't have been doing or getting in trouble or whatnot.
Yeah.
Well,
And the same thing, like if my mom caught one of the other kids, there were plenty of times that I probably caught a beating from one of the neighbors just because my mother would get home from the salon when she worked at a salon. Like, hey, we had to regulate this kid because he was doing X, Y, and Z, and then I'd get a beating from her for the simple fact that the neighbor had to put you in check. So now I'm putting you in check
yeah.
for embarrassing me.
Yeah.
Yeah, our
Yeah,
neighborhood was full of old World War II vets and Vietnam vets and that. If you messed around and got caught by the neighbor, you might get smacked, and then they're going to bring you home, and then your dad's going to smack you, you know?
Exactly.
And that's true, Ed. We were raised by a village.
Yeah.
Back then, we were
Yeah,
raised by a
yeah.
village.
But,
Now
in a way, I think that was a good thing. I mean, I don't think I grew up to
100%.
be a bad person going through that, you know? I mean, I
Yeah.
taught you
No.
respect, and
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
We were
something a
raised
lot
by
of
a
people
village.
these days don't really learn much of.
Yeah, we had
There were
great
consequences. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Exactly. And we
Yeah.
had great like mentorship, either like we were talking about with cartoons or whatever it is. There was always something that had a message. Now, the kids are being raised by iPads, and that's a shame. Yeah.
Well, I think that's
Yeah.
why, for me at least, the sports, getting my son involved in sports was so big because I coached. I know all the coaches. It's a whole community like that. So, if he's out doing something, I'll get a text from somebody. Hey, I just saw your son over here. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to mentor a lot of kids in the neighborhoods through sports and through coaching. So we were able to build that out here, which is good.
Yeah.
Joe just commented. He's like, my mom and dad would hit me when I was a kid. They gave me a disorder called respect.
Yes.
Yes,
My
sir.
mom was great at playing
Yes,
shit.
Joe.
Books and shit. Flying books coming out of your head.
Yeah, it was a different era. I miss it. I think we really need it more now than ever. I also remember getting disciplined in school, SWATs. I don't know if you guys rolled in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, it was with my wife and daughter in the schools and hearing their stories, discipline needs to be brought back in school. I mean, I'm not saying like SWATs or anything like that, but I mean now that everybody's hands are tied because they don't want to get sued. And
when I went through the Army, the drill sergeants could smack you and rough you up and stuff. I hear now they can't even swear or yell at the guys anymore. You know, I mean, I don't understand how you're going to make good combat soldiers doing that. I just
yeah. The world needs more punishment, more strict. Because I mean, nowadays you can do whatever you want, and there's no repercussions.
Especially young teenage boys full of testosterone. You know, I mean, they need some guidance. You know, they don't need to be coddled.
yeah, because most of those guys are keyboard warriors. They never even been in anything outside of behind a screen.
Yeah.
Gives them a lot of confidence until they catch one in the chin. But it's
like Mike Tyson said, people got way too comfortable not getting punched in the face.
Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Threw it on the plane the one day where the guy was like egging him on.
Oh, I love that, man. That guy had like a death wish. He just kept messing with him and messing with him, and then Mike snapped.
What was that dude thinking, man? Dang. Yeah,
he had somebody filming. It was all for social media clout. There was somebody filming the whole thing.
Probably.
Plus, he was probably looking for a lawsuit, you know.
Easy payday. That's what he thought.
Yeah.
That's funny because me and Ed grew up in the city, and it is a different world because now we both live out in Suffolk County, way out east on Long Island. And I swear some of these guys grew up without getting punched in the face. You're right. That's why I gravitate to the city people. All my friends that I've met out here are city people, and the former city.
And it's funny you say that because my wife and I joke around about that a lot. Like we say, like these native Long Island folks are just kind of soft.
Yeah.
Right. And all of us that migrated here from the city, we just kind of gravitate towards each other because you grow up with that a really rough upbringing, and you have to have tough skin in New York City. Because just think about this: you leave your house first thing in the morning, you jump on a subway, you jump on a bus, you're going to school, you're going to work, you're dealing with every character possible, going from like one county to the other, traveling to New York City. Even if you're walking the streets, you have to have tough skin. You have to have your wits about you, um, and you have to toughen up at a very young age. So by the time we're adults, we're so hardened and toughened by the world around us that everything just kind of like rolls off our backs. And over here, like we're out east in Suffolk County, there's people that it's like if you have a tone when you address them, they like that's it. They not only do they want to like call HR on you, but they're like, "Oh, my feelings are hurt. I don't want to go to work now because someone hurt my feelings." Like, are you freaking kidding me?
I don't even realize that I'm talking that way, but it's just the way I talk. Like, and it's
Yeah.
just like, I may throw the F bomb in there, but it's a part of my regular vernacular. Like, sorry, I'm not
Yeah.
trying to be threatening or anything like that. People call it a drawl or whatever. It's just like, I'm not trying to be that way. But I mean, I guess we're off on a tangent now, but
You know what? You know what? Though,
we did get punched in the face, so we learned.
Well,
Don't make
to go off of what you were saying, though, I think where it comes down to is one of the things our generation dealt a lot more with was bullying. You if you did something that your peers didn't approve of, they put you in check. And
Yeah.
you had two choices there. You could either stand up for yourself and stand apart, which a lot of people did, or you could knuckle down and comply. And I think that teaches you to be a lot stronger, more resilient person than now, where everybody's got a safe space and everybody's whatever you think is special, and you don't have to challenge or debate and back up your beliefs. I think that creates a bunch of people that are just overly sensitive and they have trouble with having any kind of debate. I can have friends that have different political views than me, and I don't have any problem with that. But now you've got so many people that just they get frazzled. They can't take it if you don't think what they think.
Yeah.
Dude, the funny thing about it was back in the day, you would fight it out, man, and then you would you'd be friends by the end of the day. You would settle it, man. So yeah.
The way it was. And back then, I mean, like Ann was saying about these kids nowadays, they just start getting, the kids nowadays, when they start getting loud and just start yelling and they're saying they're going to do something, those are the ones that ain't going to do nothing.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and end that right away. Like you said back in the day, it was always the quiet one. You're like, oh boy, the quiet one that's it. Because those quiet ones are just letting all that build up, and then they're going to go put a pony on your ass.
Blow up. Yeah.
Many things like that too. But I mean, just with you guys in this community, and when I first got involved in the hats and everything, and I've said this before, people would start calling me and stuff like that. And like, I was like, from New York, I was like turned off a little bit because my mom was like, people are trying to be your friends that you don't know it's a scam. Don't make eye contact with anybody. And then these people from like when I first went on vacation and stuff, and people were like, hey, good morning, sir. I'm like, well, what? Like it's totally different. Like you realize how different people are in different states. Like, wow, they're friendly actually. And this guy sent me a hat because he just wanted to send me a hat. He's actually a good person. So like this whole world that we got involved in and meeting you guys and everything sort of brings us out of our little shell.
Well, it's funny you say that because being in the Army, I've been all over the country and stuff like that. And I'm a pretty friendly person. I'll walk down the street, make eye contact with a stranger, and say hi. I mean, you can see that in a lot of my dog videos when I'm with my dog. But in some other places, like DC or New York and places like that, if you make eye contact with a stranger and say hi, they think you're a nutter. I mean, they go, what do you want from me? Or shut up and leave me alone. It's just a different culture. It's kind of funny,
Yeah, it's a shame. Like I said, the internet got a lot of people comfortable.
It's not necessarily bad. It's just that it's just different. I mean, it's just different.
Down south, we're overly friendly, man.
Yeah,
we're
down south is kind of like people are here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why they say Minnesota nice. People up here tend to be pretty friendly, like people are down south.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't think so with what you see in the news lately.
Well, that's what the news is good for. News is
it's what they want
for amping up 5% of what people are. So They're gonna exploit 5% and make it seem like it's 90% of the world.
It's
So.
it's whoever's banging the pots and pans the loudest, man. That's who they focus on. So yeah.
Yeah.
I got to give a shout out to Tim Placia. He was defending Long Island. He said in the 70s and 80s we blocked. It got soft after that, though. I'm not talking about the old cats.
No. And I responded to him because he's old school. I know that. He grew up tough.
Further, he's not
It's-
east, right? Like,
No, well, Tim can tell us where he's from. I know Tim was a firefighter in the Locust Valley, so he's out in Nassau.
yeah,
So I don't know. I don't know if he grew up in Suffolk, but he's definitely a Nassau guy. But Nassau's right next to Queens, which is the city. So by association, he has a little bit of that in him.
right on the border there. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, what I was actually telling Tim, it's this younger generation, these 20 to 30-year-olds, they're so soft.
Yeah.
It's you can't even have a conversation with them without offending somebody.
Safe place people. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
That's why I spend most of my time with my dogs.
I wish I wasn't allergic.
So does anybody watching the live stream have any other questions for us? If not, we're going to go ahead and start doing our closing statements here. And also, our next, while I'm waiting for people to type some things in the chat here, our next show is next Tuesday for the Gentlemen's Roundtable. We have the Scally Crap Counts. We're going to have Chris Lopp, and hopefully we get Sarah on there as well. She's checking her schedule.
Oh, he's next week, huh? Cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's next Tuesday. Yep. And
So-
so they'll be on there.
We need a little estrogen.
Yeah, hell, we might even do a Scally Cap Chronicles with the women of Scallies. Because we've been getting a few more pop up on the chat on the pages now.
Yeah.
We got Danielle, and then you had the one that started posting the other day. There's getting more and more females on the page. So maybe we'll just do a dedicated show, maybe around women of Scally World, I guess. Yeah.
I like the idea.
Yep. All right, so that's pretty much it. Anybody got any final things to say? Dub, we'll start with you.
That's about it, man. I did bring my ET that I was going to show off.
Phone home. Phone
Yeah.
home.
He's kind of beat up like me, man, a little bit. So
Does he have a glowing finger?
nah, he doesn't have that, but it's crazy that I still have him, man. I got that in 1982, so he's been with me through every life move and just through everything, man. My kids and all that. So it's
44
pretty
years.
cool. I know, right?
44
Yeah,
years.
it's crazy. Yeah, but yeah, that's it, man. So Ed, what about you, man?
Oh man, I've had a great time just reminiscing. These are conversations that we can have off and on all the time, but to collectively
For
be
real.
able to get together, knowing that we all grew up in different areas,
Yeah,
but we still had the same kind of upbringing, which is great.
it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to have a show doing like 80s movies because that'll be a 2-hour
Oh, that was
segment alone.
you gotta do 70s and 80s movies because there were so many cool movies in
Oh,
the
yeah.
70s, dude.
Yeah.
For sure.
Chad,
I
any
just
final
want to say,
words, buddy?
I just want to say thanks, Ed, for coming on, and I've enjoyed doing these live streams with everybody over the last couple of months. Having a great time. Looking forward to more.
Sweet.
I just wanted to, I showed a few figures. I just want to make sure Trapjaw made an appearance. That was cool in the new movie. And also, how could you
Yeah.
forget Manny Faces, bro?
Oh, Manny Faces. Yeah.
But otherwise, I just wanted to say thanks everybody for everything tuning in. Please subscribe to our channels and support the merchandise too. The four of us do merchandise pages. Please hit the link, support the merch, and tune into our unboxings, like and subscribe.
And again, I put everybody's channels in the chat. For all you gotta do is click on those links, and it'll take you right to everybody's pages. And just hit that subscribe button. You don't know. I did a video the other day about. I was doing a review on. I can't remember which cap it was. I only do a handful a year, I guess. But it was where I actually said about like with us getting more subscribers.
You got those
more
Nephilim-sized hands.
yeah. So in all actuality, it helps us all in the long run when we get more subscribers, more viewers, because it puts more money in our YouTube account, and all that money I get on mine goes right back to buying stuff for reviews. You know,
Mine feeds my dog.
Yeah, and I got a thing set aside. I put $300 a month of my own money into purchasing caps just for reviews or any other things. But yeah, the more subscribers, more viewers we all get, the more reviews we're going to be able to do, and the more you guys will be able to enjoy other caps. Now we started getting the ammo quilts. I know I seen Ants wanted the German one today. That was pretty cool. I mean, that's another small business that, you know, to be honest with you, I used my YouTube money to buy those. And
regarding that place, how do those shirts run from Ammos and Quilts? Are they pretty true to size, like Dixon, or are they?
Oh, that Ammo and Quilts is hats.
Yeah,
right.
Don't they sell flannels too, or is that other one that Dub was looking at?
Got handmade stuff in Ammo and Quilts, but I just know the hats, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think they just make that in like rifle keychain, the buckshot keychain.
Oh, you may be thinking about retro rifle.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Too many product reviews.
Yeah.
And
do those run true to size?
Yeah, pretty similar to Dixon, I'd say. It's a softer material. It's like a true flannel. Dixon's and Hales, they're that polyester, so it's got a different feel to it.
Well, I like the ones I saw in your video, so that's why I was wondering how they range size-wise.
Yeah, they got the cool cuffs on them. You know, you can flip them out, and they have
they look like cool shirts.
And then
such good quality, man. It doesn't wrinkle. I like impossible to wrinkle. Hell.
Yeah.
And then also the another small business I did one on the other day with the Headstone Apparel. I'll tell you what, these guys here.
Is that werewolf hat?
This werewolf cap. I didn't know this stuff glue in the dark, but it glows in the dark. But it's the quality of that is.
That's a really cool hat, but it looks like a purple chode on the back.
That one there. And we do got a question in the chat here. John, he asks, is any of us going to the Funky Brims open house in March?
I am, yeah.
And I know you guys are New Yorkers and probably don't have.
You guys gonna film that?
I'm going to try to.
Yeah,
make sure.
I want to experience it vicariously through your videos.
I knew Moose was going. I didn't know Dubs was going. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Those ad hocs in the shops, which I have a ball with. I got to go there once, but it's just so damn far. But I will, but not for this one.
Yeah.
I'm going to be there. Man. I didn't hear what you said, Ed. Were you going to be able to make it or no?
Oh no! It's tax season for me, man. It's like as soon as we sign up, I got to get back on my computer for work. From here till April, I don't have any personal time.
Yeah, see, Tulsa's only about an hour and 40 minutes from me, so I'm definitely going to go there for the weekend. And definitely, I'm reaching out to. I know Dub and I are both going to reach out to Chris to see if we can do any kind of live streaming from inside the store. I just don't want to ruffle any feathers with him, and just to get the permission from him. But yeah, we will definitely, if he allows us to, I'm sure we'll go live while we're there, especially on Saturday when they got the Irish Festival. And nice. We'll definitely go live a few times there, and as long as he permits it. But we're looking forward to that. That's going to be pretty cool.
If not, we can do it outside. So most definitely. Yeah.
But maybe if he lets us record it all, then we'll definitely compilate a video together.
Compilate it. You know, kind of like what I did with Mulligan gear. Jim didn't know I was filming anything.
You needed some of those glasses, man, that record everything.
Oh yeah, the meta glasses.
The meta glasses.
Yeah. All right, again, thanks for everybody for tuning in. Anybody else have anything else to say between the four of us? Or five of us now? Have that in there?
Thanks for watching.
Let Ed get back to work.
Appreciate you all. Yes.
And join us next week for Chris from Funky Brims and his wife, hopefully. But again, thanks everybody for watching. And see you guys next week, next Tuesday.
Bye.
Catch y'all later.
Bye, guys. Bye.